Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. EQA Nostalgia here, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that I've been putting off for quite a long time. I've had a lot of people who subscribe to my channel expecting H-Hour news and SOCOM related stuff, but I just haven't done anything in a while. And the reason why I haven't done anything is because I've been conflicted about the project. For a few different reasons, and I didn't know if I should continue talking about it anymore. It was one of those things that I was just thinking maybe I should just never fucking talk about it again and just walk away. But that's not exactly fair to all the people that I've talked to and brought in. During the early days of the Kickstarter, I spent hours and hours and hours of my time making videos, trying to promote H-Hour and get people to get people involved, to donate to the Kickstarter, and then beyond that, to pledge on the website and shit like that. And I kind of feel guilty about that now because of the way that the community's been treated. But at the same time, I don't think anybody really seen any of this coming, and there was a lot of us that were out there kind of waving the SOF flag, the H-Hour flag, if you will. But yeah, at the time I didn't have a job, so I dedicated, I don't even know how many hours, putting those videos together, laying down commentary, and editing. That shit takes a long time. I don't think people understand how long that takes. Just cutting out stuff that I'm not even going to cut out of this video. I'm keeping this raw. Usually I'll cut out stupid shit like or when I say stuff like that, but anyway, I'm getting off track. The reason why I stopped talking about it is mostly because I didn't know how to approach it anymore. My feelings were completely fucking just conflicted, I seen people being dropped left and right from the community. SOF was banning people, and I guess what I'm going to do now is just kind of walk you guys through the events over the past year as I've seen them, as I've perceived them, how they've unfolded. I took some time away. I do have a life. I wasn't paying attention for a while, so I kind of got back into things and was brought up to speed on the real SOCOM with people. But the way I perceived it is things were going well. After the Kickstarter, everybody was hyped up, and it was just a really fucking awesome feeling everybody had. And then all of a sudden, Urgent Fury was dropped from, I think it was moderating, Shane. They just cut him off for some reason. I'm not even certain what happened. The details, I guess they got pissed at him, and they're like, okay, we don't need you anymore. They pushed him aside. I said, all right, well, I don't know the details, so who knows? It's kind of shitty because the fucking podcasts, the first podcast that I remember that people were doing, Shane was doing them, and he actually gave a shout out to me in the chat. It was like, he said my name wrong, but whatever. Fucking totally messed up my name, but he got David Sears to actually engage in one of my questions. I thought that was awesome. I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually talking to David Sears through somebody else. So I was pissed when he got knocked, but I didn't know the details. So I'm like, whatever, It sucks, but I'm not gonna make any videos and bitch about it or anything. I'll just let it go. Then the real SOCOM, the forums, the guys from the forums, they got dropped. And at that point, I was like, I know how SOCOMers can be. I was making excuses, okay? This is what somebody does when they're in denial. I'm just going to walk you through that process right now. I'm thinking, those guys are awfully bullheaded. I know how SOCOMers are. They're really blunt, they fucking swear a lot. That's just how we are. Somebody probably said something that didn't look good on the forums to investors, and they're like, oh, we're just going to cut these guys off. All right, fine. They didn't personally cut me off, which sounds kind of fucking selfish because it is. I was just thinking, well, they didn't ban me. Because I've been decent, I haven't been saying anything, and I wasn't really asking any tough questions or anything like that. But they got shit canned, and after that, it was like two different communities All of a sudden, we went from everybody being pulled together to the SOF forums versus TRS forums. The guys who were overly optimistic versus the guys that were just like completely pessimistic and were like, this is fucked. And I can understand both sides. I was kind of in the middle of it. And I got into arguments with people on TRS often because we're just, SOCOMers are passionate. When they say something and you say the opposite, there's going to be an argument. I want everybody to know right now at TRS, I don't have any hard feelings. When I argue with people, I don't fucking take that shit to heart at all. I mean, I remember playing SOCOM and I'd be yelling at someone over the mic, and the next game we were buddies. Like, oh, good job, dude. Fucking yeah, let's and we'd be going together, rolling together as a team through the red room and shit like that. That's how SOCOMers are. We have thick skin, We're not like, oh, you called me names, I don't like you anymore. We're not like that. So I guess their bluntness just didn't coincide very well with SOF. But the thing is SOF wanted transparency. They were preaching that, like, through the whole Kickstarter. Like, we're going to be transparent. And we're going to let you guys talk, and it's going to be like an open forum thing. And the first time I noticed, going back now, thinking on it, I actually did get a little bit of I didn't get banned, but I got in trouble from a SIG I used from the Trailer Park Boys, Mr. Leahy. Something about a shithawk in my SIG, and it got removed. And it pissed me off because the moderator that removed it was saying, shit and this and that left and right all the time. I thought it was very hypocritical that he removed my SIG, but I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to be a child about it. So that was like the first taste I got of, I guess, the hypocrisy of the way the community was treated. And it just spiraled out of control. Like I said, it split the community. People just didn't get along. You had the SOF nut huggers on one side and the trolls on the other. That's what they called each other. That's not what I'm referring to them as, but that is how they saw each other. And But that right there, that's bad. When the community gets split, that's fucked up. But then something happened that just shook the very foundation of H-Hour. David Sears stepped down. And once again, I said, well, making excuses and denial. Well, maybe, the money just wasn't there, and, he's got to feed his family, right? I mean, what the fuck? I was arguing with people about this. Like, no, he's an asshole, and he just fucking abandoned us. And I could understand how people felt that way. I still don't really feel that way. I feel like he did what he was hired to do. He made the proof of concept. It would be nice if he would have stuck around, but I don't know the details. The whole David Sears debacle is still up in the air. People are speculating. Nobody knows. It's just really fucking strange because we get a letter. He left like a post, I think, on SOF forums saying, hey, I'm stepping down, but, I'll still be around. They can still contact me, and I'll be in like a supporting role and stuff like that. So I was thinking, well, he laid all the groundwork. He probably trained Kevin Daraspino really well. So Russ Phillips is awesome at making maps. He made all the classic SOCOM maps. Things should be okay. But a lot of people started to lose faith, and I'd be lying if I said that my faith wasn't shaken at that point. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is the guy. This is the reason. I just want to clear this right now with everybody. I didn't fucking put money down on H-Hour for Tom or anybody else. I put money down because I saw David Sears. I didn't even know who the fuck he was until H-Hour, and I read his bio, and I saw, oh, this is the guy he was there since the beginning. He's the man. If anybody's going to be able to do it, it's him, right? So when he was gone, it was very disheartening. But again, like I said, I'm making excuses. Well, maybe it was just finances. They didn't have a whole lot of money to make the game. It costs a lot of money to make games. What the fuck do I know about making games? I just talk about them. I don't make them, right? So hopefully everything will be okay. And then you fast forward a little bit, and I learned that Suck My Turban was blocked on Twitter. And now this shit started to get personal to me because, as everybody knows that subscribed to my channel, I was inspired a lot by Turban. there was other YouTubers that inspired me to do what I do, but Turban was a big inspiration to me. He was outspoken. He said the things that I felt, and he gave everybody a voice. And I remember watching his videos thinking, I want to be like that. I want to have a voice for a community, for EverQuest Online Adventures. I want to be the Turban of EverQuest Online Adventures, and that's kind of what I became. Not as funny, obviously, and not not as ranty. Even though I do rant about the fucking state of MMOs these days, garbage. But anyway, I digress. When they blocked him, I took that shit personal, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hope I don't piss you off, Turban, if you watch this. I don't know if this is like betraying your confidence, but he got me into the proof of concept. He set me up with David Sears. David Sears sent me an email, an NDA that I had to sign and everything, saying you cannot talk about the proof of concept, you cannot talk about this and that. I'm pretty sure what I'm talking about now is legit because this is all known. It's not like I'm going into fucking company secrets and revealing things. But I did have to sign an NDA, and he got me on board with the proof of concept. My dumb ass couldn't run the fucking proof of concept. I couldn't run it. My computer couldn't run it, and I was just face palming. And Turban's like, dude, because at the time I didn't have a job. I was going through a real fucking rough time. A lot of personal problems that I'm not going to get into. But I didn't have a job, and he's brainstorming ways for me to make money. He's like, you can go on Craigslist, and there's these things that people put on there, and you can see. And he was just being really cool. He talked to me on the phone. He talked to me on Skype. We sat on the phone for like 2 or 3 hours just talking about the good old days and the faith that we have in David and how things are looking good. So when they blocked him, that shit, that was it for me. I was just fucking pissed because now this is the guy that I trust more than anybody else. The gamer's conscience. And even he said he didn't know what the fuck that meant. I don't think anybody knew what that meant. I guess he was like the representative for us. Personally, I think maybe, I don't want to think this. It's kind of an evil thought, but I'm thinking maybe they did that because they wanted to bind him to an NDA because they know if they fuck up that he's going to rain down fire on their heads. So I'm thinking maybe they wanted to just put a fucking muzzle on him right away. Which I really don't want to believe that. Because that would involve David. Maybe David Sears didn't know this. Maybe he was just thinking, let's get this guy on board. Turban was supposed to go down to the studio, get mocap and all that shit. I don't think that happened. I think they pretty much just, they rode on everybody's backs. And they got the ball rolling, and then they just started. The best way, I said this in a comment to somebody on one of Turban's videos. The best way I can describe what SOF did is they grabbed a fucking 12-gauge shotgun, okay? They loaded up with slug ammunition. A sawed-off, too, okay? They pointed it at their fucking foot, point-blank range, and pulled the trigger. That's exactly what they did. And I can't understand it. I've been sitting here just trying to think, why would you do this? Why the community that lifted you up, the people that are going to buy your fucking product, why would you do this? Why would you piss them off? So I haven't made videos in months. I had people that I don't even remember all their names that wanted to do videos with me. Like, hey man, we could collaborate and make videos. Even Abel Green, he said on Twitter he would love to have me in one of his podcasts. I did not respond. Because I didn't want to get into that podcast, because I know that all it was going to be was, I don't want to sound mean here, but it was just going to be a fucking circle jerk of oh, this is so great, everything's wonderful. There wasn't going to be any hard questions. Like if I got in there and I was like, and by the way, when are we going to see some gameplay? Or, and started asking some tough questions, they weren't interested in that. Not Abel, but the studio themselves would be like, whoa, why'd you pull this guy in here? He's fucking asking too many questions. Get him out of here. And they would hit the panic button. So I'm like, no, I don't want to join that. I was upset about things, and I know I've got a big fucking mouth, and I would have said something. I wouldn't have just been able to play like everything was cool and butterflies and fucking bunny rabbits. I would have started asking, hey, what did happen to David Sears? You know, why did Turbin end up getting fucking blocked? You know, what happened to TRS and Urgent Fury? So I just decided to stay away from that. And then when when Abel Green posted his video, you know, I was kind of surprised because I didn't think that they would do that. Those guys were going to do that. You know, I thought they were just going to kind of go along with everything because they wanted to keep everything on the up and up. You know, I'm not calling them nut huggers or anything like that. I think they just wanted to keep a positive aura around the game, and I can understand that. And that's half the reason why I haven't made a video, because I don't want to damage what could be being made right now. I don't know anything about the game. I don't know how it plays. Speaking negatively about it could damage it. What if it's a fucking great game? I don't know. People have told me, they don't like it for whatever reason. They're not able to specify. But I can understand people not wanting to say anything negative. And I don't. When he made that video, I was like, oh fuck. You know, he's even pissed off. Big Fry made a video, I believe. I haven't seen it yet. Sorry, man. I just haven't sat down to see it. I haven't had the time. I plan on checking it out soon. But evidently they both were like, fuck this. And they walked away. And they were the last two people that were still kind of waving the H-Hour banner. I stopped months ago. Turbin stopped months ago. And, you know, TRS hasn't had anything nice to say. I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about the whole mattress diving thing. That's one thing you have to hand to those guys. They have a fucking hell of a sense of humor. Even when the things that they said that I didn't agree with at the time made me laugh. Especially Mac. Mac is one funny motherfucker. And then Animal. The only moderator I actually liked. And I've actually gotten arguments with him on DRS. He was the only moderator I liked over at SOF. And he left. He's like, fuck this. And he went over to TRS. He's like, yeah, fuck them. So it's just bad. Everybody who was associated with them is saying fuck them, but we can't really tell you exactly why fuck them, but fuck them. Trust me, fuck them. So, like I said, I don't know how the game's going to turn out. I have no idea. Hopefully, I'm still hoping. I know there's people that want to just see everything fail. They're like, fuck you guys. I want to see this thing burn to the ground. I don't feel that way. And there's a reason why I don't feel that way. And there's a reason why I stayed hopeful for so long. And I've said this before in other videos. And it's personal to me. But my cousin and I, we used to play SOCOM. I know some of you guys know this. We were tight. We were like brothers. He passed away at age 23 of cancer. And when he was in his fucking bed, unable to move because the fucking cancer was ravaging his leg. And he was going through chemo treatments, throwing up every fucking hour. His hair was falling out. I was over at his house with a copy of SOCOM 2, sitting on his fucking floor, smoking weed, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. He smoked copious amounts of marijuana. He was terminally ill. I have a lot of really good memories of us before he got sick playing SOCOM 1 and 2, and then when he got sick, SOCOM 2 and 3. So for me, SOCOM has always been my cousin. It's always been a part of him in SOCOM. So I wanted desperately for this to work out, and I still do. And I just want people to understand that. This isn't just a fucking game to me. This is personal. There's not a day that goes by I don't think of my cousin. I mean, he was just a really awesome dude. He was charismatic. I mean, when he passed away, he's the kind of guy where his wake, there were people standing in the fucking lobby waiting to get in. He was just a really good guy. And he was taken early. And I still rock his name, Chemo Freak 7, on the TRS forums. So yeah, it's hard for me to see this going down. But, you know, as a SOCOMer, I'm fucking used to being shit all over. I'm used to it, you know. I mean, look what fucking Zipper did. What the fuck, you know? The less said about SOCOM 4, the better. But for a while there, after he passed away, I just kind of said, fuck it, you know. The last game I really played was Confrontation. I played, well, not Confrontation, what was the fucking game? Combined Assault. Combined Assault was the last one that I really got into. And by that time, he was gone. So every time I played it, it just fucking, like, grief and sadness would overcome me every time, because I'm thinking, dude, I wish I was fucking playing with him. I wish he could see these maps, you know? I don't think he would have liked it as much. I know I didn't. I still had fun with it, but Confrontation, I didn't play it at all until the very end. I grabbed it and I said, you know what? Fuck. I got to get a PS3, because I just kind of snapped out of it. I said, all right, I got to try this out. Just, you know, in memory of my cousin, I'm going to get this. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen people playing on Frostfire, which was our favorite map. Desert Glory, one of our favorite maps. So I grabbed it. I said, fucking, let's do this. I actually thought it was pretty decent. It could have been a lot better. Thought it was a lot better than SOCOM 4. But I played it for like the last month. Played SOCOM 4 like twice and fucking hated it. It was nothing. There was no nostalgia there for me at all. And that, I think, was the biggest thing. It was just completely... It wasn't SOCOM at all. It was just fucking garbage. But yeah. It's been hard for me. Because watching this whole SOCOM thing die is kind of like watching a part of us and the memories we had together die. So I'm holding on, you know. And I'm hoping that this fucking works out. So, you know, I know there's people that are going to be like, oh, you're still fucking, you're on a sinking ship and, you know, you're a fucking nut hugger. I don't care what you think of me, dude. I still hope the game comes out. I hope it's good. SOF, I've never seen worse community management in my fucking life. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. Any of you, I'm not going to name anyone. Just SOF, I'm just going to say. I have no idea what you're thinking. You don't shit where you eat. Who do you think's going to buy your fucking game, dude? You think we're going to just, like, lift it up and then all the Call of Duty addicts and fucking Counter-Strike addicts are going to jump on it and be like, oh, hey, this looks good? That's not going to happen. You know, if you release a game and it's fucking butt cheeks, nobody's going to buy it. Not us, not anybody. If you release a game and it's good, even if it's good now and it still feels like SOCOM, you're still going to have people that are spiteful and don't buy it. They're going to be like, well, fuck them. I'll just go back and play on X-Link. I don't fucking need them. I'll play Counter-Strike Go. SOCOM Go. I'm good. Fuck it. It was just a really stupid thing. It's very unfortunate. I'm not even burned about the $50 I threw down. You know, that doesn't really bother me. Whatever. It's just fucking money, right? I didn't throw too much of it down. What I'm bothered about is all the hours I spent making videos. And that's why I told myself I'm not going to fucking make another one. But then I saw Turbin's video. I'm like, the least I can do is give you guys a video after I had so many people riding the hype train. You know? He told me in the comments, he's like, why do you feel responsible? Why do you feel like a douchebag? You didn't do anything wrong. But I can't help it. I still feel that way. Because I know I pulled in a lot of people. And I'm not trying to fucking brag, but I know I did. My SOCOM and H-Hour videos got, I think it's up to like 36,000 views now. And I read comments from that. Comments are coming into that to this day. I made it over a year ago. Comments are still coming in. And I'm still fucking reading them, you know, and I'm still and I had to have to respond to some of these guys like, I don't know what's going on right now, you know, because they don't know what's going on. They're like, oh, I can't wait for this to come out, and I kind of like I want to break it to them like, hey, we don't know. The future is very uncertain. Based on the way the community's been treated, I don't feel good about this. I just don't. I don't even have a PC that can play it. I was gonna get one. You know what? I said, fuck it. I bought a PS4 and a Nintendo Wii U instead. That's what I did with my money. Because that's how unsure I am of it. And to be honest with you, I can't imagine playing it on PC anyway, even with a fucking controller. I still stand by the thought that you're going to get murked by a dude who's got a mouse and keyboard. They're just going to whip your ass. I don't care if you think you're good with a controller. You're going to fucking die. They're just going to click right on your head and you're done. You know, play Counter-Strike with a controller. Try it. Fucking try it. You're going to die. The point is, if it doesn't come out to PS4 anyway, I'm not going to be playing it on this channel. So there's another thing that's like a big barrier. Not only is the future of the game undecided, we don't even know if it's going to get fucking finished. We don't know if there's investors. And right now, the community's in an uproar. I mean, they got fucking pitchforks at the ready. Torches are fucking lit. They're ready to burn this bitch down, SOF, okay? Damage control, dude. Like right now, you need to do something and fucking and just do something. Offer an official apology. Let everybody back on your servers. Do not stay the course. This is not good. You're trying to get investors, and your community wants to burn you down. Nobody's going to invest in your game. All it takes is a Google search to find a bunch of people that are pissed off. All it takes is a look at your fucking Facebook page and people saying, hey, I'm sick of fucking seeing guns. I don't care about your guns. I don't care about your fucking character models. I want to see some fucking gameplay. Today. Not tomorrow. Not when the game is more finished. Show us what it looks like. So what if people shit all over it? You can always say this is a proof of concept or fucking whatever. Wick. You can tell people this. But do something. Release something. Show us some video. What's the fucking secrecy? Where's the transparency that we read all about when we had fucking dollars in our hands? Anyway, that's my 2 cents, you know. I'm sorry if it's an incoherent rant and I'm just fucking blah, 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 blah. I didn't write anything down. Usually I'll have keynotes and shit about when I want to talk about this. I had to be real. But yeah, like I said, that's my 2 cents. Hopefully I can make another video in the future and it'll be more positive and happy. Because I like happy videos. I don't really care for ranting. It's not really my thing. But yeah, hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. I just hope this shit works out, man. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.